How soon does John Wall let the beard know, yo, bro, you could be Robin now. There's a new Batman. How soon? Like, as soon as the plane touches down? Do they wait until they get to the introductory press conference at the Toyota Center? How soon before the beard is sent the text from John Wall that, yo, bro, you've been holding it down for all these years? Say less. I got it now. Because that's the energy that John Wall carries. Everywhere he goes, he's Batman. In college at Kentucky, in his mind, he was Batman. With the Wizards, he was Batman. Even when Bradley Beal was arguably a better player than him, in John Wall's mind, Bradley Beal was still Robin. Now he goes to H-Town, gets to play with a one-on-one dynamic player in the beard, and John Wall, the point guard, probably looks at the beard and says, oh, I was already doing it like that. I was already giving people 30 and 10. That's light. That's easy. Now you get to play off me. I'm not going to play off you. You get to play off me. That's how John Wall's going to keep it. And boy, I hope the beard stays now. Just for that. I mean, I know the thing with the beard, people are still, Philly fans especially, still wishing upon a star that maybe something will happen there. But outside of that, I now want the beard to stay in H-Town. Because I want to see the battle for the ball, possession by possession, between the beard and John Wall. That will be fascinating to watch for 72 games. While much is being made of how this is like a referendum on John Wall and, Russie bounces around yet again, Russie and Brad Beal are actually low-key kind of close. I'm not going to say this is collusion. I'm not going to say this is tampering. But Bradley Beal and Russie are boys. So the fact that they get to hoop together, I don't think that's a coincidence. But here's the funnier thing. Another pair of boys, thanks to this trade, get to link up, get to hoop again. Because H-Town went and got the baller formerly known as Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins, right? So now we got DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall again. From UK to now in H-Town. And I know Boogie is coming off, the baller formerly known as Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins, is coming off those two horrific back-to-back injuries. But I mean, verticality wasn't really his game anyway. So if DeMarcus is 75, 80% of what he was, that's still a double-double. Houston went and got Christian Wood, who I was on here saying like that low-key is a huge free agent. Pause. Like Christian Wood is nice. Like, not just, you've seen him on League Pass a couple of times. It's like, no, dog. Go back and watch some games with Christian Wood with the Pistons last year. There were times where even when Blake Griffin was on the court, Christian Wood was the best player. And while that might not sound like much in 2020, skill set wise, that says a lot. So now, if you're the beard, you have John Wall instead of Russie, who I feel that's an upgrade. Now, again, you have to figure out who's going to have the ball and all this type of stuff like that. That will get figured out, assuming those two can have a meeting in the minds. And that's why I'm telling you, I want to see the Beard's face when John Wall tries to co-sign. Like, nah, this is like a 1A type thing. With you, Beard, former MVP, 30 plus a night, you being 1A. That's going to happen. There's no more confident person in their own abilities in the game of basketball, in the entire NBA, than John Wall. But if you're the Beard now, you requested a trade, you want it out, you want to go run with KD and Kyrie, allegedly. You're flirting with your man's Morey over there in Philly, allegedly. But look what you got now. You got two bigs. So no more PJ Tucker nonsense. You got DeMarcus Cousins, you got Christian Wood, and now you got John Wall. That's a good team. Like, that's a really good team. You still got Eric Gordon. You still got some shooters. Like, this is looking like an actual basketball team. Like, the small ball D'Antoni nonsense has kind of been swept out damn near in one offseason. So for me, I'm kind of, if I'm the Beard, like, yeah, you can run with KD, and you know how that's going to work. It's the Eastern Conference, allegedly on paper weaker than the West. Yeah, you could go to Philly. Your man's Morey's running things now, so you think you could have some sway in how the organization is, but then you're saddled with the whole, whether it's straight up for Simmons or if they found a way to not give up Simmons. Now you're dealing with you, Simmons, and Embiid. That will take time. Or you could just stay where you're at, still be the number one option to everyone on the roster except John Wall, still have control over the organization, still get to be in H-Town with the strippers, and you still, in theory, keep being the ball-dominant guard that we known you to be. But now you have bigs who could go get rebounds and could go get buckets. I'm telling you, if DeMarcus is 80%, even 75%, Christian Wood, youngin' who's only going to get better. He's not even close to the peak. The Beard should really reconsider that trade. He may just be sour. I know the owner is a joke. I get it. Steven Silas is a rookie coach. I get it. But the front office with Morey bouncing, they've done a quick and swift job of getting out from under some problematic contracts and some problematic schematic players. If you're the Beard, you have to reconsider this alleged trade demand. I spoke about it on the last pod where I was trying to figure out, well, I know why Houston would do this trade, because John Wall's a better player than Russell Westbrook, right? Now, though, the fact that, I forgot that Beal and Westbrook are cool. But outside of that, still, from a basketball standpoint, and, the Wizards have a new regime, a new GM, and he's, well, not new this year, but over the last year or so. I think this is going into his second or third season. So he's done a lot of roster upheaval since arriving in Washington, and for the betterment. And the roster on paper looks better. They retain Bertans. He's a gunner, a certified Drazen Petrovic old school type gunner. They got Rui last year. So there's some young core pieces. They're big on Thomas Bryant. I don't really know if I would go that far, but, they have some serviceable pieces, some diamond in the rough type of dudes, if you will, that they're very high on. So, and they got Scott Brooks, who, I don't think that highly of him as a coach, but around NBA circles, he's highly thought of. And obviously, we know the connection between Scott Brooks and Russie, so Russie will feel more comfortable being Russie and playing along with one of his mans in Brad Beal. So, in theory, a happy Russie leads to a better playing Russie, right? But I thought we were getting that last year because Harden was his man's as well. But that didn't work out because Russie, kind of like John Wall, thinks he's 1A. And not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. But man, I really can't get over how great of a deal this is for Houston. Like, even if they don't keep Harden, even if they clean house and they're going to start over with Wall as being the guy, the lead guard in the backcourt, I'm not mad at that, especially with, all the IG videos you're seeing on Wall. He's cooking fools every day. He's cooking fools every day, and he looks to be back to the level of a dude that was a top 10-ish, top 15-ish player a little over 2 years ago when he was last healthy. Is there a better team? Like, if John Wall were to be traded to any other team in the league, is there a better team than the Rockets? I mean, the colors are red, right? The colors are red. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'll say about that. I mean, in H-Town, man, you throw a Beard. I mean, Beard's the king. He's the king of Houston strip clubs. But, I mean, you heard what I said about 1A when it comes to John Wall. Like, he's going to take that crown. He is not scared. He is not shaky in the light when it comes to the stripper crown. And then, I mean, H-Town, there's enough of us out there, but he could catch a Spades tournament. He could definitely catch a Spades tournament. What type of player you think John Wall is as a Spades player? Is he cutting out the gate? Is he leading with big jokers? Like John Wall is the cocky type, the way he would play his big jokers early or his heavy jokers early, just because he thinks he can still figure it out on the back end. He's definitely trying to make them Jacks walk. He is for sure. John Wall is definitely leading with Jacks, thinking that they go walk early in the game. Yeah, so John Wall will be very comfortable. This is a win-win. If we're to believe that Russie is really mans with Brad Beal, he gets reunited with his old coaches, Scott Brooks. So he gets to be, he gets to look upon yesteryear with a familiar face. And because he's not near the beard anymore, he should feel happy about having the rock in his hands. He should be able to control the rock a lot more with Washington. Because Brad Beal brought the rock up a lot last year by force, by default, because there was no John Wall. Now he can go back to just being that 2, a clear 2. But because of that experience he's had over the last 2 years handling the rock, Bradley Beal's game is on another level. So, yeah, like, this could be a thing. Is Russie and Brad Beal enough to guarantee a playoff spot? No. They will be in the play-in tournament. Here's the thing, though, right? They are very high on Rui, the rookie they got last year. This will stymie him a little bit, right? I mean, you take him that high. What is he, He was definitely a top 10. I forget what number he was at. But he's a top 10 lottery pick. He showed some strides last year. The shot looked ugly early, but it got better as the season, as he got more comfortable. Bringing in a Russie can either be detrimental to your youngin' or could be instrumental. I can't figure that out yet. I would have to see a few games to see how Russie tries to ingratiate himself or not ingratiate himself to the other players on the Wizards that's not named Brad Beal. So Russie kind of holds the key to what this Wizards thing is going to look like. But for John Wall, man, this is, bruh, they could be really good in the West. If Harden stays, like, again, y'all know how I felt about D'Antoni, so I was never going to invest any sort of confidence in a Mike D'Antoni coach team. And you know how I feel about the beard and the fact that the beard is known to either get tired or just shrink in the big spots as the season goes on, preferably in the playoffs. But given a guy like John Wall, in addition to the baller formerly known as Boogie DeMarcus Cousins and now Christian Wood, Houston looks good, man. Houston looks good. I mean, I thought the window was closed, but they have gotten some reinforcements. They have retooled on the fly. They should be a playoff team. Rookie coach or not, they should be a playoff team.